Hello, my dear viewers and the rest of the listeners. Welcome to this presentation in which we are going to learn about the topic, stress cues silently, identify and manage it now. My name is Meme JM, or you can simply call me Emily Swap. In this presentation, therefore, we are going to look at the introduction to stress and stress management. Then we shall look at the science and the effects of stress. And lastly, we are going to look at the various methods, strategies, or approaches that we can use in order to be able to manage our stress. Stress is your normal body natural way of responding or reacting to inappropriate or undesirable level of physical, psychological, and emotional demands or pressure that is placed on you, therefore feeling threatened, overwhelmed, inadequate, lacking control, and unable to cope with such demands or pressure. Therefore, stress is your body's way of responding to any kind of demand or threat. When you feel threatened, your nervous system responds by releasing a flood of stress hormones, including adrenaline and cortisol, which arouse the body for emergency action. Stress is subjective to each individual because what can be considered a stressful event by you may be less stressful to another person. The same type and level of stresses affect different people differently for different reasons based on one's perception about the situation and the previous experience on the same. So, what makes you view life positively can also make another person view life negatively. You should therefore be able to know what stresses you so as to be able to recognize and counter stress before you get overwhelmed by it. This is because untamed stress can lead you into serious physical disorders due to increased adrenaline and corticosterone, thus affecting your immune system, metabolism, and other responses to stress, such as being less productive, amongst others. There are two types of stress that you may experience at any one time. These two types are, number one, eustress. Eustress is a good and a positive stress that helps you improve your performance, lead you to motivational states, and helps you to adopt and react to the environment. It is the stress which is necessary for your survival because it keeps you alert and vigilant. It makes you work harder and smarter. It inspires you to achieve your goals and get a job done. Eustress is a positive view of the situation that provokes you to feel like you are obliged to do much better. The second type is called distress. Distress is a bad and negative stress that threatens your quality of life due to a demand exceeding your capabilities. It is a negative view of the situation that makes you to feel inadequate, oppressed, overwhelmed, and lacking control. So, whenever you feel threatened, your body goes to a state of high alert, such that if it remains that way for a long duration, your body may not be able to go back to its normal functioning. Therefore, you should always avoid living with high levels of stress because it is passed your entire life into risk-causing mental and physical health problems. Always remember that managing your stress is your individual responsibility, and you must take an action to manage your stress. Once you realize that stress is taking toll of you, don't wait until it damages your quality of life, but you should take an immediate action by practicing various stress management techniques. So, what are the signs, the effects, and the symptoms of stress? In order for you to be able to manage stress, the first step is to recognize it in your life, as well as noticing the situations that cause this stress. This is because stress is not usually caused by the event itself, but on how you interpret the situation and deal with it. When you cannot cope with the demands placed on you and you begin to feel negatively, this is considered as a stress response. The causes of stress are normally known as stressors, and they are literally of many types, as different individuals react differently to the same situations. Therefore, anything that puts high demands on you or forces you to adjust can be stressful. Some of your sources of stress may include, number one, personal stress, which may be caused by the nature of your work, changes in your life, or the problems that you face as a person. Number two, it is the stress in your family or friends, which in turn may affect you. And number three is stress in your colleagues, which may also affect you as an individual or as a staff within that organization. A combination of several signs of stress is a clear indication that you are stressed and you have to take an immediate action to cope or manage the stress. The following are therefore some of the signs you should watch out for in order to know whether you are stressed or not, whereby some of the symptoms are physical or social, while others are emotional. However, they all draw one's attention to certain aspects of the person that may need to be taken care of. So, some of these signs that we are saying that if you find that you have more or several of these signs that I am going to mention or list, then the chances are very high that, my dear friend, my dear listener, and my dear viewer, you are stressed. Number one is a feeling of insecurity. Number two is when you find that you are absenting yourself from work for no reason. Number three is when you find that you are having or another person is having aggressive behavior to either yourself or to others. Number four is when you always feel as if something bad is about to happen, and you cannot even be able to tell what that is all about. So you have fear of unknown. The fifth symptom or sign is an extreme difficulty in dealing appropriately with other people due to inability to make rational decisions. The other factor or the other sign is when you find that you are always avoiding certain places or people. Number seven is having bad moods and mood swings, changing your mood now and then without any important reason. Number 8 is being aggressive in talking. For example, when you find yourself talking a lot, yet that is not your custom, or when you find yourself maintaining deep silence, even when you are expected to be talking, then that is also a clear sign that you might be stressed. When you find yourself biting your nails, or even another person biting his or her nails, when you find yourself not being able to see, you have what we call blurred eyesight, or your eyes are sore. When you find that you have developed careless personal appearance, in other words, you don't care anymore about how you look, how you groom, how you dress. When you find yourself changing your eating habits, such as starting to overeat or undereat, when you have been used to eating normally, then that can also, or those can also be signs or symptoms of stress. When you find your menstrual cycle changing, if you find a certain day that you normally receive your menses or your monthly periods within a certain duration of time, your menses are regular, but then all of a sudden you find that they are changing, the dates are changing, that can be an indicator that you might be a stressed person. Another sign is having chest pains that you cannot explain their cause. You have been okay, and then all of a sudden you start feeling chest pains. The other sign that you might be in stress is cold extremities, experiencing cold extremities on the hands and the feet. When you touch your fingers or you touch your toes, you find that they are extremely cold, yet the weather is not cold per se. When you are stressed, you can also find yourself being involved in what we call compulsive shopping. You buy and buy and buy items, a lot of items which you don't even need. Sometimes you do a lot of impulse buying and you can't even explain why you are buying like that. The other sign is concentrating too much on something or neglecting your other important aspects of life. If you find that you are concentrating too much on a single thing, when you are having a careless attitude, you don't mind about any other activity that you are supposed to undertake. You are not doing anything else, yet it's your responsibility to attend to those other things, then chances are very high that you are stressed. If you find yourself or somebody crying or feeling tearful, that person is stressed. When you find that you are developing what we call decreased body immunity, you are getting sick now and then, you are having colds, chest pains, and other kind of illnesses that you can't explain, that can be an indication that you are stressed. Your body is developing low immunity. You may also find that you are developing rashes all over your body or certain parts of your body. For example, your face, your shoulders, your back, and other parts of your body. And you are even having an itchy skin. You are feeling like scratching yourself deeply, yet you don't have a skin disease. That is an indication, or can be an indication, that you are stressed. Sometimes somebody who is stressed may also experience diarrhea or constipation, difficulty sleeping, or nightmares. You go to bed, you are interested in sleeping, but then you are not getting sleep. You find you are tilting, you are rotating, right, left, center. You are sleeping on your back, you are sleeping on your abdomen, yet the sleep is not coming, or you are having funny nightmares, funny dreams. some that are threatening, some that are not really impressive. You may also experience difficulty in breathing. You find you are having problems with the breathing. Difficulty relaxing is also an indication that you may be having stress. Dizziness, dry mouth, engaging in deviant behavior, such as prostitution. In fact, in some cases, the person may engage in immorality or immorality as a way of seeking attention. Somebody has been behaving very well, has been morally upright, but then all of a sudden you find that this person has started engaging in deviant behavior that could not be expected from him or her. When you find that you are being excessively defensive, even before somebody points fingers on you concerning something, you have already started defending yourself. Another sign is if you have been having certain physical problems, and then these problems start becoming or getting worse for no reason, that can be an indication that you might be stressed. Fainting, fatigue, that is feeling tired even when you have not done anything that warrants you to get tired. Feeling overwhelmed, feeling sick. Yet when you go for checkup or testing, the doctors, the technicians, the lab technicians cannot be able to find anything. Feelings of anger and hatred, which may resort to violent behaviors. Feelings of worthlessness and hopelessness. Somebody feels he or she is not worthy, does not even warrant to be alive, does not qualify, does not fit even to be existing. You may also experience frequent colds or flu, even when the weather is warm, it is hot. Then frequent panics can also be indicators of stress. Another sign that you might be stressed is having what we call general unhappiness. There's nothing that makes you happy. Even when people create laughter, when somebody creates or becomes humorous, when somebody says something that really warrants laughter, you are not happy. You don't find anything to laugh at. You are not interested. There's nothing that is making you feel good, feel happy. Grinding of teeth, yet it's not cold. Another sign is hair loss due to long periods of stress. My dear listeners and my dear viewers, stress can make somebody start losing hair on certain parts of his head or her head. Hallucinations and hearing voices, thinking somebody's after your life, hearing people talking, yet there's nobody, seeing people doing something strange in your life, yet there is really nobody who is doing anything. Having frequent headaches that you can't even explain, heart palpitations or arrhythmia. In addition, when you experience inability to cope with life, for example, inability to concentrate, to work, or to study, that can also be an indication that you are stressed. When you have increased bouts of aching because of touching the face often while stressed, that is an indication of stress. You have a very smooth face, a very beautiful face, very handsome face, but all of a sudden you start developing a lot of acne because each and every time you are touching, you are pinching your face, you are feeling even some as if there are some parts of your face that are not the way you expect. Increase the heart rate, increased levels of anger and aggressive behavior, even under literal provocation. Increased substance abuse, where you find that somebody who was not even taking drugs starts taking drugs and even increasing the amount as days pass. In fact, my dear viewers and listeners, it is also important to note that stress, too much stress in women can cause infertility. This is because of spasms developing in the fallopian tubes and the uterus. And this can also affect men due to reduction of sperm count and erectile dysfunctions. This is how serious stress can be to your life, my dear friend, my dear listeners, and my dear viewers. Irrational phobias or fears, irritability or short temper, irritable bowel syndrome, where you have stomach problems, you start feeling problem in abdominal pains all of a sudden from nowhere. In addition, when you find that you or your friend is isolating himself or herself, or you find you yourself, you don't feel like being near people, you are isolating yourself, that can be an indication that you are stressed. Or when you find that somebody is silent, then all of a sudden the person bursts in brightness, the person talks loudly, then all of a sudden the person keeps quiet. That kind of alternation in terms of silence and noise making can also be indications or signs or symptoms of stress. In addition, stress can cause damage to arteries and the organs due to inflation in the body by cytokines. It can lead to development, or when you find that you're having blood clots, that can be a sign of stress. This is because the blood prepares itself for injuries that's becoming sticky. In addition, another sign of stress is losing your sense of humor. You used to create humor, you used to be jovial, and then all of a sudden you find that you have changed. Loss of interest in your usual activities, low self-esteem, mental and physical health problems such as heart diseases, depression, high blood pressure, and diabetes are good signs of stress. When you find that your muscles are becoming tensed, you are having mysterious aches and pains, yet you don't feel sick, or yet you are not supposed to be feeling sick, or you are not ill, that can also be a sign of stress. In addition, stress can make you feel nausea and heartburns. Whenever you eat anything, you feel heartburns. Nervous twitches. Other times you may feel as if you need to pick at your skin, pinch yourself because you are feeling your skin is itchy. Other times you may feel as if somebody is inserting pins or needles on various parts of your body, and that is what we call pins and needles sensations. Other times, due to stress, you may have poor judgment. You find yourself, you are seeing, you come across, for example, just a small amount of water, and then you find yourself jumping over it. Just a small amount of water that has collected somewhere may look as if it is a big mountain, and then you find yourself jumping over it. Or you may find even touching something like a cup, and then you find your hand is picking the air. That can be an indication that you are stressed. In addition, you may find yourself procrastinating or neglecting responsibilities. You have stopped attending to activities you are supposed to attend to, and what you are saying or excuses that you are giving is that I'll do it tomorrow, The time is not yet. I don't need to hurry. So this kind of procrastination can be an indication of stress. In addition, when you are stressed, you are bound to make a lot of accidents. If, for example, you are in the kitchen, you find yourself cutting yourself, burning yourself in sufurias. If you are driving, you find you are causing accidents that ordinarily you do not cause or that you are not supposed to cause. Also, when you find yourself repeatedly going over the same things in your head, you are repeating something, then that can be an indication that you are stressed. Restlessness by not sitting still. When you find somebody is seated on a chair, but the person is moving this side, that side, sitting upright, bending, in other ones, you find yourself, you are restless on the chair. That is an indication that you or somebody is stressed. When you find somebody only seeing the negative, when you find yourself always looking at situations from a negative aspect, even when somebody says something positive, you take it negatively. When somebody is saying something and he or she is meaning well, you look on the negative aspect. That is an indication of stress. When you find yourself feeling like staying alone, you don't want people around you, that is a sign of stress. In addition, if you find that you're having sexual problems, you used to be very active with your partner, but then all of a sudden, you find you are lacking interest. You have no sexual urges. You are having erectile dysfunctions. You are not seeing any need to engage even with your own intimate partner. Then that can be an indication of stress. In addition, stress can make you develop skin conditions such as eczema and rashes, sleeping disorders and nightmares that we have already talked about, snapping at people, struggling to make decisions. In addition, if a child is stressed, he or she does not grow well. So the child develops what we call stunted growth or stunted growth due to a reduction of the growth hormone. Substance dependence and abuse. A person cannot do without taking a certain substance. A person has to take some substance so that he or she can be able to do something. In addition, having stress can lead to somebody having suicidal thoughts. When you find yourself sweating on the hands and the feet for no reason, that can be an indication of stress. In addition, when you find yourself taking out your frustrations, your feelings and impulses on people or objects that are less threatening, then you are stressed. You find you are beating your children for no reason. You are shouting at your partner for no reason. You are yelling at your closest friend for no reason. Even for situations or when the person does something that does not warrant, then that can be an indication or is an indication of stress. When you find yourself treating others harshly for no reason, when you find yourself trembling, that is, or those are indications of stress. In addition, if you find that you are unable to enjoy yourself, that is an indication of stress. When you find that you are underperforming, you are doing all what you can do or what you're supposed to do, but then the kind of results that you are getting, the kind of output that you are getting is wanting, then that kind of an achievement can be an indication that you may be stressed. In addition, when you are stressed, you may have unexplainable chronic aches or pains without any other physical condition. In addition, when somebody is stressed or when you are stressed, you may find yourself losing a lot of weight or gaining a lot of weight. So if you find that you're having unexplainable weight loss or unexplainable weight gain, that can be an indication of stress. When you find you've reached a point where you are completely not interested with life, you don't see why you should be living. There is nothing that interests you in life. That can be an indication of serious stress. So, having known the kinds of signs, symptoms, or symbols, or effects of stress, then what are you supposed to do to be able to manage stress? So let's now look at what we call stress management strategies that you should engage so that you can be able to manage stress and even avoid some of the stressing conditions or situations. So stress management is your ability to respond positively to the incidences or occurrences that place high demands on your life by recognizing their sources, how they affect you, and acting in ways that help you control your levels of stress for the purposes of improving your functioning every day, thus maintaining your overall well-being. In fact, the simple realization that you are in control of your life is the foundation of stress management. Managing stress is therefore all about taking charge of your thoughts, your emotions, your schedule, and the way that you deal with the problems. In addition, for you to be able to handle stress positively, you need to understand yourself in terms of the causes of your stress and how you behave while stressed. You should therefore be ready to accept the responsibility you play in creating or maintaining stress so as to be able to control your levels of stress. The following are therefore some of the strategies that you can use in order to be able to manage your stress. Number one, you should learn to express yourself clearly by saying no or yes when it's due while sticking to your limits. Don't be a person that accepts to do anything without questioning and without limits, but as you do this, exercise empathy. My dear friend, and my dear listener, and my dear viewer, it is very important for you to ensure that whenever a person tells you anything, don't be a person that just says yes, and then later on you regret about the decision that you made. Never do anything without having thought about the consequences. And therefore, you should not fear to express yourself. If somebody has told you something, take your time. And then if you feel that what this person is telling you is not good for you, just be sincere and open and say no to whatever the person is saying. And if what the person is telling you is good and it is good for you, it is good for you and for the others, then say yes. Be very clear. Be very clear and be honest always with yourself. Never say yes when you mean no, and never say no when you should be meaning yes. Secondly, always create boundaries for yourself by outlining the behaviors that you will tolerate from others and the amount of time and the space that you will need from others. Don't be a person that just allows anybody to be with you, to do what he or she wants with you. Be a person that has certain limits and let your friends know Let your colleagues know what you really like and what you hate. Ensure that these people that are with you clearly understand you. Don't allow anybody to tell you anything and then you just say yes and then you just follow this person. If a person, for example, tells you that let's go and do A, B, C, D, yet you know very well that you are supposed to be attending to something else, don't allow such a person to waste your time and then make you fail to do what you had planned to do. And therefore, have certain limits, have certain boundaries. If somebody is about to waste your time or somebody is about to interfere with whatever you had planned, just tell this person that you are committed to ABCD activity. Don't just be a person who behaves like a flag that is swayed to and fro by wind. So you should ensure that you create your own time and you also have time for others. Don't allow other people to encroach your space. Don't allow them to encroach your space, taking away from you who you are supposed to be. So have time for others, but don't allow those others also to take your space and take your time. Always avoid the people that consistently causes stress in your life and limit the amount of time you spend with such people if you cannot avoid them altogether. Don't be with the people that never see anything positive in you. They are always discouraging you. They are always speaking negatively about anything and everything that you want to do. Don't be with the people that will always make you feel pain. They always make you see as if life has no meaning. Don't allow such kind of people to be around you, because the more you allow such people to be around you, they will always say something or do something that will always hurt you, even if it means it's a relationship that you have. And there is nothing good to enjoy in such kind of a relationship. The best thing you can do, the best service you can do to yourself is to stop such kind of relationships. If a relationship cannot add value to you, if a person that is close to you cannot add any value, but this person is always pinning you down, this person is always speaking ill of you, this person is always doing something to hurt you, then the best thing you can do is either to part completely from such a person, or you limit the time that you are spending with such a person if you cannot avoid such a person altogether. Number 4, avoid situations that stress you by taking control of your environment. For example, if listening to news is what makes you become uncomfortable, make you feel stressed, the best thing you can do is to switch off that television, switch off those news. So if anything makes you anxious, or whatever that's around you is making you anxious, or when you're in a certain place, that place or whatever is happening around that place is making you become anxious, do things you're not supposed to do things that may make you feel or make you hate yourself, then the best thing you can do is to avoid such environments, avoid such people, avoid such environments altogether, for the sake of ensuring that you don't do things, hear things, or partake in things that may make you stressed. Even if it means that it is a company or a group of friends that are making you engage in activities that lead you into stress later, the best thing you can do is to part from such friends, part from such groupings. So always remove yourself from the environments or situations that stress you. In addition, it is always good to avoid hot button topics. That is topics that make you get upset or make you engage in endless arguments, such as arguing about religion or politics. It's also good for you to always analyze your schedule, your responsibilities, and daily tasks so that you can prioritize them in order of their importance and urgency, while eliminating those things that add no value to you or those things that may negatively affect you if you implement them. In addition, you should always express your feelings and concerns freely in an open and respectful way instead of bottling them up. My dear friend, my dear listener, my dear viewer, it is a grave mistake to your life to keep quiet when somebody, for example, tells you to do something that you really feel it is not good, it is not worthy. If, for example, you are in a meeting and there's a certain topic that is being discussed, and you feel that whatever is being discussed is not rhyming well with you, and you feel there's something that you are not being pleased with or about, you should always openly express your feelings, express your concerns. If, for example, somebody steps on your feet, somebody steps on your toe, don't just laugh and smile. Don't just say it's okay. What is okay? There's nothing which is okay. Tell this person openly that you have stepped on me and I'm not feeling good. I'm not enjoying this kind of thing. You are mistreating me. Speak it out. Express your feelings and concerns freely in an open but in a respectful way. Don't be too harsh. Don't speak in an attitude or in a way that express that you are showing disrespect. Express yourself, express your feelings in a respectful way so that also this other person can listen. So don't be a person who just bottles up everything. You hear something, somebody abuses you, you keep it in your heart. Somebody tells you something, you keep it in your heart. Somebody hurts you, you keep it in your heart. If you continue bottling up such things, a time will come or may come when you cannot be able to hold it up anymore. And your body will burst. You are going to burst. You are going to act in a way that is you cannot even imagine that it is you. And therefore, it's always important that you always express yourself freely. Speak it out, even if a person will not listen, but speak it out. Even if a person will not do what you are saying, speak it out. It will set you free. It will set your heart free. In addition, it's important that you always be willing to compromise. Whenever someone or whenever you want someone to change his or her behavior, so that you can both have a good chance of finding a happy middle ground. For example, if you have different kinds of opinions concerning something, you want something to go this way and another person wants the same thing to go in another way. Don't just maintain those kind of stance. Each of you should be willing to give in something so as to gain something. And so that at the end of the day, each of you is left feeling that in as much as I have lost A, I have gained B. And the other person will also feel that in as much as I have lost B, I have gained A. So it's always very important that even in the midst of differences in ideas, you listen to each other and then you ask each other how best you can be able to meet each other's need or each other's request to a certain extent, so that all of you are left feeling that none of you has completely lost and none of you has gained more than the other. So it's always very important to strike a compromise, even in the midst of arguments, even in the midst of harsh and hard stance. Always strive for a compromising situation so that each of you is left feeling that you are a winner in a certain way or the other. But don't be having an attitude. Don't strive to be the only winner and then your other partner or friend feels like being a loser or he or she feels as if he or she has lost. So always strive for a middle ground in each and everything that is causing a conflict. In addition, always deal with the problems head on while you are doing your best to anticipate and prevent them. My dear friend, my dear viewer, my dear listener, if you want to avoid stress in future, don't assume that there is no problem. If at any time you realize that the way somebody is doing something may later on become a problem, just alert this person immediately. If you find that there is a problem that is growing, there's a situation that is growing slowly, and with time, it might become very serious, don't wait, act immediately. So always deal with the problems head on. Don't be a person that behaves like an ostrich. You dig your head on sand, yet the whole of your body is outside there. If, for example, a lion is running after your life, you cannot just hide your head in the sand and then think that the lion will go away. In fact, the lion will eat you from behind. It will eat you from top, and it's only your head which will remain on the sand. And in fact, that lion will also get hold of your head once it has completed the rest of your body. So don't be a person that pretends that all is well when it is not well. Even if it's in a place of work, if you find that the way things are happening, they might reach at a point where they will become seriously problematic, the best thing you can do is to highlight it, alert the concerned, take a step immediately. So don't be a person that always waits. Always anticipate what may become of something. Always think of what might crop up from what you are doing. Any action that you are taking, before you take it, think of the consequences. Think of what might happen so that you can be able to prevent such from happening. So don't be a person that just does things anyhow. Don't be a person that assumes that all is well when it is not well. Be real. My dear friend, my dear listener, my dear viewer, always be real. Be yourself. Be real. Deal with things as they are. Number 10, always learn to manage your time better through proper planning for any activity before you engage yourself in it. Always plan and exercise conscious control of the time which you spend in certain activities in order to increase your efficiency, your effectiveness, and your productivity. Never ever do anything without having planned for it in advance. Don't be a person that just wakes up and you commence a project just because you have seen somebody else engage in a similar project. Don't be a person that just wakes up and does something just because you want to compete with another person. Don't be a person that just wakes up and starts doing something without having planned properly for it. This is because proper planning prevents poor performance. So if you don't properly plan for your activities, at the end of the day, those activities are going to fail and they are going to affect you and you are going to get stressed. Therefore, always take your time. Plan your time well. Strategize for each and everything that you want to do. Make a decision of how much time you are going to give to what activity. And then attend to those activities based on the way that you have planned them. In addition, always view every problem or a situation from a positive perspective and view each as an opportunity that can be exploited for your success instead of complaining, yet you can't change anything. My dear friend and my dear viewer and listener, it's always important for you to note that there is no problem, there is no challenging situation, there is no negative situation that does not carry with it a certain opportunity. And therefore, Instead of looking at your current problem and then seeing as if that problem is going to terminate your life, is going to end your life, instead of you concentrating so much and looking at that situation in a negative way, always try to look on the positive of that situation. Always ask yourself, what opportunity can I grab from this current problem? So whenever you experience any kind of a problem or a situation that is challenging, don't allow that situation or that problem to pin you down, but always think positively. Look at the situation in a positive way and ask yourself what is said that you can be able to gain or reap from that kind of a problem or from that kind of opportunity or challenge. So don't be a person that continuously complain while doing nothing. Instead of complaining, look or find a way that you can be able to use to change the current situation. So don't just sit down and then you complain and you cry and yell. You look at a problem and you are sitting, you are crying and yelling while you are doing nothing. Always take a positive action. Look at the problem as an opportunity for your success. For you to hear more and to know more about the problems and the importance, look or search or visit my YouTube channel by the name Emily Swap Motivation and look for that video that is entitled or titled Problems, their descriptions, their benefits, and how you can be able to tap opportunities from them. And by so doing, you will never complain about problems. You'll never see problems as if they are meant to kill you or to end your life, but to always view problems as opportunities for your success and for your excellence. Always focus your mind at the future benefits that will emanate from the current situation. Train yourself to focus on the big picture or future outcome or benefit from whatever that you are doing or passing through instead of focusing on just the immediate benefit. My dear friend, my dear viewer, my dear listener, when you experience a certain kind of a situation that seems to be negatively affecting your life, don't just sit there and then lose hope, but look at the future. Ask yourself, is the problem which I'm passing through now going to end, to remain for the rest of my life? Always remember that there is no season that does not have an ending. There is no situation that does not end. There is no night that continues forever. You may be crying now, but tomorrow will be laughing. You may be sleeping now, but tomorrow will be you have woken up. You may be in a solemn mood now, but that does not mean that you remain in that kind of a situation. There is always hope. And therefore, look at the future benefits. If you find that, for example, there is an activity that you are doing now, and it seems not to be giving you what you want, don't just allow it to pin you down. Don't look at your entire life as if it is brought within that activity only. Look at the future. You might not be able to reap benefits from what you are doing today. You might be making losses today, but tomorrow you are bound to thrive if you don't lose hope. And therefore, in every situation, look at the future benefits. If you find, for example, that there is a business that you're engaged in, but it seems not to be picking up, don't just feel threatened, don't feel stressed. Look at the future. If you are, for example, a student and you are passing through hard moments, you are doing a lot of reading, you are being given a lot of assignments, don't just look at those assignments and then see as if you have no hope and you have no future. Look at the future benefits of the many assignments that you are doing or that you have been given. If you learn to look at the future benefits of what you are passing through today, then whatever you are doing will be easy for you. And even if it does not become easy, you'll be able to get energy that will push you, that will take you through what you are passing through. And at the end of the day, you are going to benefit. So instead of complaining that, oh, you are giving me a lot of work, oh, you are doing ABCD, no. Ask yourself, what will be my future benefits from what I'm doing today? If I become obedient today, what will be my benefits tomorrow? If you become obedient to your senior today, you are sure but tomorrow you'll be the senior. You will have taken that position. And therefore, in every situation, don't focus on just now. Focus your mind on the future benefits from whatever you are passing through today. In addition, always set for yourself and for others reasonable standards that are not too high, while avoiding perfectionism attitude by learning to be okay with enough. Don't always expect to score to attain everything 100%. Don't always expect to perform well. If you can perform well, you can also perform poorly. If you can score 100%, you can also score 50. You may also score even a 0. And therefore, always set for yourself reasonable goals. Don't set for yourself goals that are too high that you cannot even be able to reach. Because the more you try and then you're not able to reach that far, you are about to start losing hope and you may get stressed. So don't be a perfectionist. When you make a mistake, accept it and then avoid repeating the same mistake again. So always note that good enough is okay. So even if you're failed in something, you have not been able to achieve a certain goal, don't lose hope, don't mind. But don't be a perfectionist. Don't be a person who always expects everything to go exactly the way you have said it. Be ready for certain eventualities. Do your best, yes. Do the best you can do, but set for yourself goals that are reasonable so that you can be able to appreciate whatever you will be able to achieve as long as you have done your level best. Don't also set for others extremely high standards because they may not be able to reach them. So always go with what is good enough, and with the time, you'll be able to attain or achieve those high levels of standards that you want. Avoid self-defeating thoughts that focus too much on your weaknesses and mistakes by focusing on the positive aspect of your life, such as reflecting on all the things that you appreciate in your life, including your own positive qualities and gifts. My dear friend, my dear viewer, my dear listener, it is okay to make a mistake, but it is not okay to continuously think negatively about the mistake that you made. There's no human being that is perfect. So when you make a mistake, it's okay. If you make a mistake and it was not intentional, you had not intended to make that mistake. Don't look at life as if you have come to an end. It might be a grave mistake, yes, but that does not mean that because you have made that mistake, that you have no future, that you have no life. You are a human being, and a human being is bound to make mistakes. A human being is bound to make errors. So when you make an error, when you find you have a certain weakness, don't look at that weakness and all you are thinking about is that weakness until you are not able to even think ahead. Don't dedicate so much of your energy into your mistakes, into your weaknesses. Look at other things that you are good at. If you're failed in something, you are not a failure. Sit down. When you find you have made a mistake, sit down. Ask yourself, what good things can come out of me? What are other good things that I've done? And my dear friend, you will find that when you train yourself to think about the things that you have done in your life, those positive things, you'll be able to appreciate your life. Always look at your positive qualities and gifts. It's okay, yes, to have weaknesses. It's okay to make mistakes, but it's not okay to think so much about those mistakes and you think about the mistakes and you sleep, think about the mistakes and you cannot even be able to stop. Always note it has happened. If it has happened, there's still hope. There's still life. Shake your dust. Shake yourself. Shake the dust away. Stand up and move on. There is a life ahead of you. So instead of focusing on your weaknesses, instead of always focusing on your mistakes, take time and think about other things that you have been able to do. You might have failed in one, but you have done well in many. So why waste your brains? Why waste your energy thinking about a small weakness? Even if it's a big weakness, it's a big mistake, that doesn't matter. But there are many things you have done. So always train yourself to think about your positive qualities and the gifts that you have. Appreciate yourself for that which you have been able to do. Even if all other people cannot see it, appreciate it. Clap for yourself. Cheer yourself up, even when nobody is cheering you up. As long as you know that you have done something well, even if it's as small as what, and you could not be able to achieve it before, you could not be able to do it before, cheer yourself up. And when they tell you, what are you cheering? Tell them, I am happy. I am appreciating myself for what I've been able to do. So always look on your positive aspect. Don't concentrate so much on your negatives and on your weaknesses till you forget that you are also good in something. There's nobody who is good in everything. And therefore, always learn to appreciate your positive qualities, your positive gifts, and look at the positive side of your life. In addition, always focus on the things that you can control while avoiding situations that are beyond your control. For example, if you have lost somebody that you love, you cannot be able to reverse that kind of a situation. In addition, you may be having even your closest friend, your only child, your only family member, but this person is continuously and consistently behaving in a way that is not good. You have strived, you have struggled to help this person lead a better life, but the person is not able to change his or her behavior. Don't allow such kind of things affect your life. Don't miss sleep because somebody has refused to change his or her behavior. You have a life to live, my dear friend. You have a life to live, and you have great goals to achieve. And therefore, when things happen that are beyond your control, that you cannot be changed, just appreciate them. Appreciate that they have occurred. Appreciate that they have taken place. And then move ahead with life. Let me ask you a simple question, my dear friend. It is okay. You can change your personal life. You can say, I will not drink again. You can say, I will not commit this or that kind of a crime. But you cannot force another person to change. Yours is to inform this person. But if the person is not ready nor willing to change, don't waste your entire time thinking about that person. Never expect people to behave the way you want. Never expect people to be like you. Those are different kind of people. They have their life to live. Yours is to play your part. Do what you can do. Tell them what they should do. Do what you can do. But if they don't change and they are not willing to change, don't allow their life, don't allow their behavior to override your personal life. So if you have things that you can control them. If there's something you can do, do it. But if something is beyond your control, my dear friend, don't allow such a thing tear you down. Don't allow such a thing always spoil other nice things that you can do. So appreciate things that you cannot control. But those that you can control, do what you can do. If something is beyond your control and it has happened and there's nothing you can do, stop worrying about it and move on. After all, there's a life to live and a goals to achieve. Also, when you find yourself facing major challenges, try to look at them as opportunities for personal growth, just as I have said. If your only poor choices contributed to a stressful situation, reflect on them and learn from your mistakes. The greatest thing, the greatest favor, my dear friend, that you can do to yourself is to always learn from your mistakes, but not to dwell on mistakes that you have already committed. With somebody and freely. Always identify someone that you trust, regardless of whether this person will be of help to you or not. Always speak out. My dear friend, my dear listener, my dear viewer, there is nothing that cannot be shared. There is nothing that cannot be spoken. It is okay to speak out what is in you, what is eating you, than to keep quiet and shut up just because you are saying that there's nobody who will listen to you or there's nobody who will help you. By the virtue of opening your mouth and speaking, that is already a process of healing. That is catharsis. Speak it out. Speak everything out, especially to a trusted friend. Speak and speak it out. Whether this person will take it positively or not, that should not be your bother. Yours is to speak out. You have gotten an opportunity. You have gotten a person to speak it to. Speak it out. Speak it out. Whatever it is, speak it out. Don't die alone. Speak it out. And I repeat and I say again, my dear friend, speak it out. If there is no one that you can speak it to, or you have some fear of speaking out some things to some people, then look for a counselor or a therapist. The simple act of expressing what you are going through can be very cathartic. Even if there is nothing you can do to alter that situation, but just by speaking it out and sharing it with somebody or to somebody, that itself is good enough to make you appreciate that situation. And it is also enough to make you be able to dedicate your energies to other things. Opening up is not a sign of weakness, and it won't make you abandoned to others. Create time to spend with your family, your friends, the people you trust, in order to help you feel better and forget about your stress. Never say that this is mine. This cannot be spoken. This cannot be shared. My dear friend, there is nothing that is yours alone. There are people that have faced similar situations and experiences like yours. Just speak out. Just speak out. And I repeat again, always speak out. Whatever that heart is eating you. Don't allow something to remain in your heart and you say, this is my secret. This is mine. There's nothing which is yours. Speak it out. And you're going to lead a good life, my dear friend, my dear viewer, and my dear listener. Learn to forgive others freely because all human beings, inclusive of you, live in an imperfect world and all the people make mistakes. Therefore, always let go of anger and resentments because by doing so, you will be freeing yourself from negative energy by forgiving and moving on. I want to inform you, my dear friend and my dear viewer, when somebody has done something against you, if somebody has done something wrong to you, it doesn't matter what this person has done. What is important is that you leave that person from your heart. Don't carry people in your heart. You are not a trailer. You are not a car. You are not a bus. You are not a tractor to carry everybody inside you. You have no space to carry everybody. And if you continue carrying everybody in your heart, just because of what they did or what they did to you or what they said about you, my dear friend, you are not helping yourself, neither are you helping them. The best way that you can be able to lead a good life and a stress-free life is to learn to forgive even when they don't seek for forgiveness. Don't carry people in your heart. Forgiveness is not for the benefits of others. You forgive so that you can gain. And not to gain from them is so that you can regain your energy. Your mind can be set free. Your body can be set free. So always forgive. Never spend a day angered by somebody. Don't be a resentful person. Just because a person did something that hurt you, you continue carrying the person. This person might even have forgotten about it. And even if this person has not forgotten, when you continue remembering this person, every time you remember this person, you cry. Every time you see the person, you cannot even talk to him or her. My dear friend, you are endangering yourself. In fact, you are putting yourself into a meal where you'll be shred like piece of papers. Learn to forgive even without being asked about it. Forgiveness is, or forgiving others is for your own benefit. It's not for their benefit. In addition, always set aside the time for relaxation in your daily schedule. Don't allow other obligations to encroach. Whenever you set the time to relax, if you have set some time aside for activities for relaxation, don't allow other things to encroach to that space. Use this time for your own benefit. Your free time, your leisure time is your time to take a break from all responsibilities and recharge your body. Make time for leisure activities that bring you joy, whether it be stargazing, playing the piano, or working for a bike. It doesn't matter, my dear friend. Always create good time to relax. Even if you are so busy, don't say I'm relaxed. In addition, if you engage in an activity that is time consuming, always ensure that you have some frequent breaks between your tasks. Also, be taking a break from your daily routine and spend some time interacting with nature by looking at sceneries, thus becoming a source of peace and energy, as well as taking time to do something that you enjoy daily, so as to shift your attention to your positive side of life from the negative, such as listening to music, dancing, reading a nice storybook, etc. I say again, and I say, my dear friend, that always remember to take your vacations, take your leaves and the holidays to attend to your private life issues away from work. If you are employed and your employer gives you time to go away from the work, you are given an annual leave or other types of leaves, take them. Take them. They are going to help you recuperate, regain energy, attend to other activities. Always also take regular exercises such as running, dancing, etc. This is because by exercising, your brain releases chemicals that make you feel good, release built up energy or frustration. I repeat again, my dear friend, and my dear employed yourself, always ensure that you take some time away from that place of work. You take your time away and you go and relax. Attend to things that make you feel good, things that make you happy. Remember, if you are a public figure, you will not live in that public office for life. And that public office, if you are not careful, can bring you down, can end your life, can terminate your life. Always take a break. When you feel overwhelmed, take your break. In addition, it's also good to have some body massage. Body massage sessions help manipulate your soft tissues by the use of hands, fingers, etc. And that helps relieve body stress or pain. It helps reduce your fatigue. It helps you improve in the immune system, amongst others. And therefore, my dear friend, my dear viewer, if you can be able to go to, for example, a salon, a certain salon, and get a good massage, get a full body massage, I can assure you, it is going to make you feel good. It is going to help you relieve your stress. It is even going to help you improve in your body immunity. In addition, spend time with the positive people that enhance or add value to your life, and those that are committed towards achieving a goal that is similar to yours, because a strong support system will buffer you from the negative effects of stress. Be with the people that motivate you. Be with the people that encourage you. Be with the people that can add value to you. Be with the people that are telling you, you can make it. Regardless of how the situation is, you can make it. You can make it. You are doing good. You are doing good. But note, don't be the people who pretend. Pretenders are better than murderers. Don't be the people who will tell you you are doing good even when you are not. But be with the people that will always criticize you positively. They will tell you you are losing the way, and it is true you are losing the way. They will tell you you are doing good when you're doing good. When you make a mistake, they will tell you. So always associate with the people with a positive attitude. People that have a mind of seeing you as a better person, as they also better themselves. And some of these can be your closest trusted friends or even family members. In addition, have and keep your sense of humor by including the ability to laugh at yourself, because laughing helps your body fight stress in a number of ways. Seek for opportunities to laugh. My dear friend and my dear listener, laughing is medicine. Laughing is creative. Be happy. Always find something to make you happy. Smile. Listen to those commentaries. Watch those nice movies that will make you feel good, that will make you feel happy. Look at those commentaries that will create opportunities for you to laugh. Laughing is medicinal. Laugh. Find opportunities to laugh. Why? Because laughing lowers stress hormones and enables your body to release positive hormones that increase your body immunity. So don't be a person who always remains as a stony face. Find opportunities to laugh. Then create a time to exercise regularly, because physical activity plays a key role in reducing and preventing the effects of stress by releasing pent-up stress and tension. Don't be a person who continuously sits in an office. Who will sit in an office and then at the end of the day you sit again, you eat and then you sleep. Always create a time exercise out of your busy schedule. Ensure that you always eat a healthy diet while reducing sugar and caffeine, because well-nourished bodies are better prepared to cope with stress. So don't be a person who eats anything and everything, eating junk and taking a lot of sugar, taking a lot of caffeine. Why? This is because some of these ingredients are unhealthy, and they can make your body increase in its level of stress. And therefore, you should always be very careful on what to eat. In addition, don't try to mask or avoid the issue or problem at hand by taking alcohol, cigarettes, and drugs. This is because such may not only provide an easy escape from stress, but the relief is only temporary. And it's always important, therefore, that you deal with your problems head on. My dear friend and my dear listener, if you experience a stressing situation, either in the place of work or even in your home or in your business, don't think that running to taking substances, running to taking alcohol, beer, and those other kind of things are going to help you. In fact, when you run to take substances, you run to drink, you run to take other kind of substances, what you are just doing is you are suspending, you are pushing ahead the stressing situation. And in fact, you're even making it worse. So always face your challenges head on. Don't go and think that taking beer will help you. In fact, when you don't deal with what is stressing you now, and you just look at ways of postponing what you are facing, by the time you start handling what you are facing, whatever that was a small issue might have become a very big issue. So don't run to bars. Don't run away from home. Don't run away from your place of work and then you think that taking alcohol and those other substances will be of any help to you. If you are experiencing a certain situation that is stressful, find ways of handling it positively. Don't run. Don't go to alcohol. After all, if, for example, you went to take beer and they take beer and take beer, in fact, that money you could have used even to help you solve the current problem will also be money that has gone to the drain. So what have you done by going to take alcohol, by going to engage in other activities that do not add any value to your life? So look at the situation as it is. Say, this is the situation I'm in. Accept that it has happened, accept that it is happening, and then deal with it there and then. But always before you act, think. Think before you act. So never postpone problems. Don't look for ways of masking or pretending that all is okay. You find somebody seated in the bar drinking. You drink and drink until you drink yourself. Avoid the such. Deal with what you're experiencing. In addition, always get enough sleep because adequate sleep fuels your mind as well as your body. While feeling tired will increase your stress because it may cause you to think irrationally. My dear friend, my dear viewer, I know you may be having good intentions to do something great, but remember that your body is not a machine. It needs rest. If your body does not rest, it will not recuperate, it will not re-energize. And as a result, you will be accumulating problem in your own self. You'll be creating problems. You will be increasing your level of stress. Therefore, when you have adequate sleep, you are even able to think rationally. But if you spend the whole night and day thinking that you want to acquire what you wanted to gain a lot of things, so you want to achieve great goals and dreams, my dear friend, where will you be achieving these dreams from? If your body fails to function, train yourself to stop whatever you are doing and create time for sleep. Create adequate time for sleep because your body needs to recuperate. Your body needs to re-energize. And the best way to do that is by sleeping. In addition, develop and keep a reflective journal in which you can be documenting all the activities that you carried out whenever you feel stressed, inclusive of when you did it and where, and your thoughts. So that when you get stressed in the future, you can be able to go through that journal in order to establish what really causes your stress status. And by so doing, you cannot only be able to establish the causes of your stress, but you will also be able to know what to do in order to avoid such from happening again. Therefore, my dear friend and my dear viewer and my dear listener, always carry with you a notebook. Have a place where you record your feelings. Have a document where you record the things that you have gone through. Anytime you feel that your body is becoming uncomfortable, anytime you feel that you are not well, anytime you feel that a situation is stressing you or you are stressed, document what you have done and what you have passed through so that you can be able to find out what may be causing this. And after a certain duration of time, you may find that a certain thread is repeating. That anytime you do something, that is when you get stressed. And by so doing, you'll be able to avoid some of those situations later. Also, be executing simple relaxation techniques, such as deep breathing by taking a long, slow breath in and very slow breathing out. If you do this a few times and concentrate fully on breathing, you may find it quite relaxing, as well as muscular tensing and stretching. So when you encounter something that is stressing, when you encounter something that is threatening, even before you act, take a deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. As you breathe in and as you breathe out, your body is developing some mechanisms to be able to deal with the stressing situation or condition. And of course, even your muscles are relaxing that might have gotten tensed or that might have tensed because of the situation that you have experienced. Also, create time for physical exercises, just as I have said before, because such activities keep you fit. They help you avoid the various lifestyle diseases and reduce your levels of stress by reducing endorphins in the system that cause stress. So regardless of the kind of work or activities that you do, always ensure that you create time to relax. In addition, seek for medical treatment by visiting a health facility in case you realize that stress or anxiety has become severe or difficult to cope with. If you try some of the activities or methods that I've already mentioned, and you find that none of them is working, you find that you don't know even what you should do, my dear friend and my dear viewer and my dear listener, it is good to visit a health facility and seek for medical assistance or medical help. The health professional that you are going to encounter will advise you or will tell you what to do. If you need some medicine, that medicine will be prescribed to you. In addition, always learn to examine your values and live by them so that your actions can reflect them, thus making you feel better. Remember that there are beliefs that you have. There are things that you value in your life. If you can be able to do activities that are within your values, that are within your beliefs, you are sure that you are going to be comfortable with what you are doing. But anytime you do something that contravenes your values, that contravenes your beliefs, that contravenes your virtues, at the end of the day, you will get stressed. What you do will haunt you. So it's always important to examine every activity before you engage in it to see whether it is within your values, within your beliefs, and whether it is a virtue, so that as you do it, you can be having a cleaner heart and you will not blame yourself for what you have done. In addition, always appreciate yourself, commencing from your physique, your achievements, etc., regardless of what other people say about you, because you are the only one that knows yourself better. In fact, the greatest stress in a human being begins when the person does not appreciate himself or herself, starting from the looks, how you look. Remember, you cannot be somebody else. And I would advise you, my dear listener, visit the Emily Swap Motivation YouTube channel and listen to a video by the title, Who Are You? If you know who you are, you know that whatever has made you to be unique is the way you are, is the way you look, is the way you are created. Then you will not be stressed by yourself. You will not be stressed by your looks. So always learn to appreciate your looks, your features. Don't always want to be like another person because you will not be that person. Appreciate yourself. Appreciate your achievements. Regardless of what other people say, even if people say that you walk like a hyena, you croak like a frog, you are as dark as a coal, you walk slow like a chameleon, that doesn't matter. Appreciate yourself always, starting with your looks. Don't wait for other people to appreciate you. If you don't appreciate yourself, even others will not appreciate you. You start by appreciating yourself, and then you are also able to appreciate others. So whatever little achievement that you have done, appreciate it. Even if nobody else is seeing it, appreciate yourself. Reward yourself for that which you have done. Never engage yourself in an activity before you have adequately planned for it and analyzed it fully for its effects to you and to others. Even if your friends tell you, let's do this, take time, step back, look at what they are telling you, look at what they wanted to do, and then ask yourself, is it of value to me or not? Will it add value to my life or not? If it does not add any value to yourself, to others, and to the environment, don't do it. And by so doing, you will avoid a lot of issues that may make you stressed. So be planning and organizing yourself before you commence any activity, just as I've said to you in this presentation, so that you can be prepared to handle whatever that may crop up from what you do. It is so sad and it is stressing when you experience something that you are not thought about. So if you can tell yourself to think about the outcome of what you want to do, then you'll be able to avoid a lot of stress. Also, avoid undertaking many responsibilities or activities at the same time, because you might not be able to accomplish all of them as intended or as expected, and that can cause you stress. Don't be a person who just accepts all the responsibilities. You want to be the only person with all the activities. You are fearing to delegate some duties to others. If you are an officer, you're in an institution, and there are many opportunities around, there are many responsibilities. Don't just become a person who wants to be everything. You want to be everything. You want to be the cook. You want to be the messenger. You want to be ABCD. Allow other people also to play certain responsibilities. So don't get so many responsibilities until you get overwhelmed, because you don't know what you don't know which one to attend to and which one not to attend to. So avoid undertaking so many responsibilities or activities at the same time. It is good to be perfect in one activity than to be a jack of all trades. If you want to minimize your levels of stress and you don't want to be stressed because of failure to achieve, then know which responsibilities to take and which ones not to take. Even if you're being given all of them by your supervisor or by whoever, just open up, inform this person how many responsibilities you are having, how many activities you are attending to, so that these other activities or responsibilities can be given to others. Don't be a person who wants to be everything yourself. You will die. In fact, you will not be able to accomplish these activities. Why should you in an organization be the only person who is doing everything when there are people who are free and they are capable of doing the things that you are doing? And then at the end of the day, you find you are achieving nothing. Even if it's at home, delegate some of your jobs. Delegate those smaller ones and be left with those ones that you feel you are the only one who can do. And if it is possible for you to trust people and to train and equip people with the skills and knowledge so that they can assist you, the better. So don't be a person who is taking a lot of you have, the more you are bound to be stressed. Be taking a quiet time to positively focus on your life, what you are passing through, and how to best deal with it. They should be done in a private place away from the interruptions so that you can be able to reflect, meditate, and think about your life and what you can do to cope with the challenges that you are facing. Always have sessions of meditation. Set some time aside from people. Go away to a place where there is no interruption. Take your time. Look on your life. Look at what you do. Look at where you have come from. Look at where you are. Look at where you are going. Reflect about your actions. Reflect about your reflection. Think about your thinking. And at the end of the day, you reorganize yourself. You will see your strengths. You will see the areas you need to correct. And as a result of that, you will be able to manage some of the things or some of the stresses that may crop up. So within your busy schedule, within a day, or by the end of a week, or by the end of a month, ensure that you have a session for meditation, a session to reflect about your life, a session to reflect about what you are doing, a session to reflect about your strengths and your weaknesses, and then come out of that session with something that is positive, something that can add value not only to you, but even to others. Also, avoid taking up responsibilities that you are not well prepared for, that are beyond your ability. If, for example, you are senior your manager, assigns you a task, a duty, or a responsibility that requires certain skills, certain prior knowledge, certain experience, and you know very well that you don't possess any of them, don't accept them, but do it in a respectful manner. Inform your supervisor, inform your manager about your capabilities. Don't pretend to be good where you are not. Don't pretend to know what you don't know. Don't pretend to have experience that you don't have. Your happiness should always be to excel in what you do and what you know and what you know best. Don't be a pretender. Don't be a person who will always say yes, 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 yes to every responsibility, and then you fail. So once you are requested to undertake a certain activity or you are assigned a certain responsibility, if you know you are not competent in it, open your heart, speak out. Honesty is a key ingredient towards success in life. Honesty, by being honest, you can be able to reduce and minimize the chances of getting stressed. Otherwise, if you accept sure, that will stress you. In addition, remember to have adequate time to sleep, just as I have said. Always remember that you are not a machine that can work continuously without breaks or rest. Your body needs time to relax and rejuvenate. And thus, you should ensure that you have adequate time to sleep, just as I have said. In addition, make sure that your bedroom is silent and conducive for sleep. Don't carry with you phones, smartphones. Don't have a TV inside your sleeping room. Your bedroom should be a room for resting, for relaxing through sleep, or for undertaking an activity that is intimate with your partner only, that is meant to build and add value to your life. Don't have things that can interrupt your sleep. Don't have a TV, don't have a smartphone. Don't make a mistake of sleeping while you are going through your phone, because by so doing, you'll be causing other problems and you'll not even be able to sleep in the first place. So your bedroom should be a bed of resting, not reading and doing other things. It is also important to ensure that you resolve any conflicts that may be existing between you and yourself or between you and somebody else. When I say resolving conflicts between you and yourself, it's what we call intra-conflict. You are confused whether to do a certain activity in a certain way. You are wondering whether you should do something or not. Avoid these kind of things. If you are wondering whether you will do something or not and you are not sure, seek for help, seek for guidance. If it's something that is not good and that's where you are confused, choose that which is good and avoid that which is bad. In addition, if you have a disagreement between you and somebody else, instead of you staying thinking too much negatively about it, sort it out with the person and sort it out in a friendly way, in a good way that will make all of you be left as winners, just as I have said. Also, make adequate practice and preparations before facing a stressful situation, such as adequate preparation of an examination. So in other words, what I am saying is, if there's an activity you are supposed to do or that you have assigned to do it to your level best. If you are a student, prepare adequately. Don't waste your time. If you are carrying out a certain activity, you are training for a certain event, do it to your level best. Prepare to your level best. If you are doing a business, do it to your level best. If you want to excel, do what you're supposed to do in a smart way. Because excellence does not come by sleeping. Excellence comes by adequate preparation. So if you want to avoid the stress that comes as a result of poor preparation, then it's always good that you prepare and you prepare adequately. Always prepare adequately for any event that you want to undertake, and your level of stress will be low. Always love and appreciate yourself. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't feel pity for yourself when you commit a crime or when you're not able to do something, or feel negative about yourself when you make an intentional mistake. Because neither you nor others are perfect, and any human being can make a mistake. Emphasize it so that it sinks deep in your heart, my dear friend. So don't spend a lot of your time thinking about a mistake that you did, because you may not be able to reverse it. But just accept that you made a mistake, forgive yourself, and make a decision on how to move ahead without repeating a similar mistake again in the future. Always believe in yourself, accept yourself, and always be ready to accept any change that may occur in your life because nothing is permanent. If, for example, something happens to your life, and may God forbid, if, for example, an accident occurs, or maybe you lose gotten a certain type of a chronic sickness or illness, remember, nothing is permanent. Appreciate that being the way it has come. If you have developed a condition, and this condition is permanent and you cannot change, remember that this condition should not deter you from putting your focus or focusing on your future. Embrace that condition the way it is because you can't change it, and then find what you can do to achieve. Let nothing ever deter you from being a positive thinker. Always believe in yourself, believe that you can. Accept yourself the way you are, and then do things that can improve your life and be ready for any eventuality. If good things can come to you, also expect bad things to come, but don't do something to invoke the bad things. Always strive to do the best, but if the worst comes to your life, then accept and acknowledge that it has come, and then find a way to as a better person than the way it met you. Don't overcommit your finances. Learn to live within your means, in other words. Learn to live within your means. Don't compete with others. If someone has bought a car, don't run into also getting a car. If someone has built a good house, don't run into also building a house. You don't know how this person has made his or her wealth. You don't know how this person has succeeded. So learn to live within your means. Learn to manage your finances. Don't overcommit your investment, your income. Don't be a person who is owning very many houses that have no income and there is nothing finances well. Always live within your means and don't engage in financial dealings that you may not be able to sustain. You are not running another person's race. You are running your race. Let each person run his or her race. Live within your means. I repeat again. Don't want to live a life of others. Live your life based on what you have and based on what you are capable of. Don't allow other people's priorities override your personal responsibilities and priorities. In as much as you love others and want to help them and be friendly to them, remember that you have a personal life to live and a personal goals to achieve. For that reason, don't spend all your time attending to other people's issues and businesses while you are ignoring yours or neglecting your personal issues and the personal life. It is so wrong to find that in a whole day, there's nothing you have done that can benefit you as a person. If you are a parent, if you find you are living the entire day attending to other people, attending to church activities, communal activities, societal activities, while you back at home, your children have not been attended to. You have nothing to eat in your house. Your husband or your wife has not been catered for. My dear friend, if you find 99% of your time is committed in other people's activities, you have no time for yourself, not for your family, not for your own self-development, then you are losing it. And the stress is bound to come on you. Ensure that even as you commit some time to attend to other people's activities and the priorities because you are a social being, also remember that you have personal life to live as you love others. Also ensure that you have time to attend to your activities. So don't spend all your time attending to other people's activities while ignoring your own personal issues and your personal life. You can also tackle dark chocolate because it reduces stress hormones. This is also a good way. Sometimes get some dark chocolate. Purchase some dark chocolate. Chocolate, chew it slowly, chew it slowly. It contains some ingredients that are bound to reduce your stress hormones. Also, be optimistic always about life and don't approach issues from negative attitude or impossibilities. If, for example, someone has failed in something before, don't approach it with the mentality of failure. You are not them, you are you. So be optimistic. Even when things are not good today, look at the future. Think of a bright life. Even if you are crying now, a time will come when you'll be happy, when you'll be loving. So approach every situation in an optimistic way. Always believe you can, and for sure you will. Believe you can succeed, and for sure you will. Let negative attitude not be part of you. Let it not be your portion. Always look at all impossibilities as being possibilities. Nothing is impossible. Always avoid denial and accept whatever that has happened, learn from it, and move on. Don't be fixated at whatever that has just happened because your worries will not reverse anything. In addition, learn to balance your work life and your private life by avoiding taking office work to your house, going on home on time, taking all your holidays and leaves. Always remember that you have a life to live besides your job. In other words, if you are committed in certain work, you are employed, for example, leave office work in the office. Go home and attend to your personal issues. Remember to separate your work life and your private life. When you retire, you go back to your private life. When there are issues, you have them privately. So learn to balance between work and your personal life. Always, even as you work, ensure you are also for your own personal growth. Always look for opportunities to develop and improve yourself. Ensure you always do something that can add value to you. If you graduated at a certain level or you've been able to reach a certain level, but you find there are things you are not good at, find opportunities to help you be able to bridge those gaps. In addition, squeeze and manipulate stress or hand exercise ball in the hand to relieve stress and muscle tension, or exercise the muscles of the hand. In other words, if you feel you are as if you are having some signs of stress within some part of your body, like the hands, look for a squeeze and manipulate stress, or have what we call hand exercise ball. Squeeze it, release stress from your muscles of the hand. Also, share and delegate some of your responsibilities, and I have said this, so that others can also be able to gain while you also reduce your levels of stress. So share some of your responsibilities, delegate them to others without fear that anything will go wrong. Stress can also be managed by having one deity with supernatural abilities through prayers. My dear friend, in fact, this is a very important method of avoiding stress or managing stress. Always remember that you have a creator who has made you to be alive. Whenever you have issues, present them to him. Present them to him through prayers. And for sure, when you have spoken to him, when you have told him what you are passing through, rest in all things, my dear friend, in all situations, at all times, learn to recognize and appreciate and invoke the presence of the Almighty. He is the only one that can be able to take you through. He is the only one that knows where you are coming from, your weaknesses. He is the only one that can be able to help you go through. He is the one who is aware of where you are going, and he is going to work with you there. Therefore, in all things and at all times, my dear friend and my dear viewer and my dear listener, learn to commit each and everything to the Almighty God, to the Almighty Allah, or to whoever other supernatural being that you recognize in your life. But ensure that you present your requests, make them known to your Almighty. To your Almighty is going to work with you. And once you have presented your issues to him, rest assured that he has heard it and wait for him to take an action as you play your part. Congratulations for listening to this presentation. Congratulations for learning on how to identify and manage stress. It is my hope that you are now prepared to handle and cope with stressful situations. For more life skills, motivational, and inspirational resources, visit and subscribe to Emily Swap Motivation YouTube channel. You can also access various computer and ICT videos from Emily Swap ICT YouTube channel. For more information, write it to us through the email emilyswap@gmail.com. Thank you very much, my dear listener, and be blessed.